After 7 long years, finally!
Fans of solo leveling, today is our day. After years of begging and waiting, petitions and promises, the world finally gets to see this amazing story come to life. And A1 Pictures, well done. From the animation to the music and the sound design, they definitely nailed it. And I can't wait to see how well they handle the English dub, because based on the cast list I saw, it's definitely going to break the internet again. So sit back, relax, and let's talk about what happened in the episode. The episode starts off with what appears to be the previous Jeju Island Raid. So it seems this season will cover about 105 to 107 chapters of the manhwa. I know a lot of persons were concerned about the pacing of the episodes and not wanting them to feel rushed, but so far it seems fine. And with the season expected to be about 24 to 25 episodes, I'm confident the pacing will be handled well. We see a few notable characters, such as Baek Yunho, Min Byung-gyu, and Choi Jong-In, as we get a glimpse of the power of S-rank hunters. President of the Hunters Association, Gun Hee, gives us the backstory of this new world. Apparently, portals that could connect their world to other dimensions started to appear over a decade ago. These portals contained monsters and magical beings that couldn't be fought with their regular weapons. Only persons who had awakened special abilities were able to fight against them. These people were called hunters. The thing is, not all hunters are created equal. They rank on a power scale of S, A, B, C, D, and E, with the strongest hunters being classified as S rank, while the weakest hunters are classified as E rank. And once your powers have been awakened, they can no longer be developed. That's as strong as you'll ever be. Fast forward to the present, we see a group of hunters loafing around as they get ready to enter a portal. We learn that being a hunter can actually make you a lot of money. And 5 minutes, 26 seconds into the episode, Sung Jin-woo finally walks in. As everyone greets Jin-woo, as happy to see him as I was, he overhears Kim and Pak talking about him being the weakest hunter of all time, and that the reason everyone is happy to see him is because him being called to this raid means the mission will be an easy one. We meet Joo Hee, who is absolutely frustrated with Jin-woo and concerned about how it is that he got hurt again. Turns out, he was in an E-rank dungeon and was the only one that was hurt. He ended up having to go to the hospital because they hadn't brought a healer with them. He understands though that this only happened because he's the one that's weak. Everyone's ready to go into the portal, and C-rank hunter Song Chi-yul volunteers to become their raid captain, to which everyone agrees and they enter the portal. We go back to President Gun Hee, where we learn about the uses of these crystals, or magic gems, that hunters gain from slaying monsters in these dungeons. The crystals may be sold or used to create stronger weapons to defeat stronger monsters. That is, that's what the hunters and the Hunters Association would prefer. But the government, being the government, is demanding a steady supply of these crystals to use them as a power source, as it has proven to be the safest and most efficient source of power they've discovered. It's the ideal green energy. Our hunting party seems to have defeated the final boss, and as Joo Hee heals Jin-woo, she tries to find out why it is that he's decided to become a hunter. They waste absolutely no time in showing how easily Jin-woo gets hurt by these relatively weak monsters. Pak was literally able to one-shot the monster that almost killed Jin-woo. A party member discovers a hidden dungeon, which isn't something that's normally seen, and they vote whether or not they should enter. It was a split decision vote, with Jin-woo making the final decision to enter the dungeon for the sake of his family, as with his father missing, he's the only one who can earn money for them. We cut to another notable character, Yoo Jinho, who is having his powers assessed to be given a hunter ranking. One foreshadowed character, and a few recruitments later, we hear a conversation between Choi and his recruiter, noting that everyone with talent should be recruited, regardless of age and gender. But also, none of them may measure up to their star hunter, Cha Hae-In. In classic anime fashion, two men on a bike try to steal a woman's purse. But as usual, they don't make it far, because just then we get the introduction of Cha Hae-In. Gentlemen of culture, we meet again. She effortlessly retrieves the purse and takes off without a word. We cut back to Jin-woo's group as they make their way down the dungeon. They estimate that they have about 20 minutes left since the dungeon closes an hour after you kill the boss, and they've been walking for about 40 minutes. Jin-woo tries to apologize to Joo Hee for voting to enter this second dungeon, and she goes off on him. Rightfully so, to be honest. She reminds him that he would have died if he had been stabbed a little higher, and she barely managed to heal his hands and feet. But maybe, if he's truly sorry, he could treat her to a meal next time. Just then, they arrive at the boss room, and this is where I believe they would have benefited from staying true to the manhwa. In the manhwa chapter, it's actually the party leader, Sung Jin-woo, that convinces them to enter the room by telling them he's going in there alone if he must. The others then decide to join based on their confidence in him and from what they know of his reputation. Here, he just seems to go with the flow and do whatever Kim says. We cut to a recording of Gun Hee as he explains the dangers of the dungeons to this new batch of potential hunters, and he emphasizes the importance of being cautious if you want to survive these raids. Just then, the group enters the room and there's immediately an eerie feeling. They begin to look around and wonder where the monsters are. Jin-woo notices this statue, which appears much larger than the others, but thinks nothing of it as their attention is drawn to some ancient writing, the commandments of the Kartanon Temple. As party leader Sung tries to decipher the text, Joo Hee notices that the eyes of the large statue had moved and was looking at them, but this doesn't sound possible, so Jin-woo starts to dismiss it. Just then, the door slams shut, possibly trapping them in the room. One of the hunters tries to open the door and is quickly killed by one of the statues guarding it. Jin-woo starts to worry that if a D-rank hunter could be killed so easily, then how could this be a D-rank dungeon? It's then that they start to realize that if that statue can move, then so can all the others. And that includes the large statue as well. And as the large statue is about to attack, Jin-woo starts to remember the many life and death situations he's been in. In his first raid, he got separated from his party and was seriously injured by an E-rank beast and had to be hospitalized for weeks. Another time, he almost starved to death after being trapped in a maze. Even low-rank dungeons could possibly mean death for him. Normally, hunters spend the money they earn to buy better weapons so they can defeat stronger monsters and gain higher rewards. But all he has is a cheap knife, and if it breaks, he has to fight the monsters without a weapon. Because of this, he's had to rely on other skills, being observant and finding openings to attack. It's because of this that he was able to warn everyone just in time. The large statue shoots out a beam that completely incinerates a few of the hunters, and the reality starts to hit Jin-woo that he's not making it out of this room alive. The anime definitely took a few liberties and deviated from the manhwa, mainly sticking closer to the light novel. But even with the changes, they managed to capture the essence and personalities of the characters as they seem to be focusing on the storytelling and character development. I'm curious to see what persons who aren't familiar with the story will have to say about the anime and how engaging it is for them. Also, I like the fact that they explained the hunter ranks and their magic system in the beginning of the episode, for those persons who may not be familiar with power ranking scales and fantasy stories. When I was introducing the manhwa to a few of my friends, that was a question I kept being asked, so it's good that they didn't just assume everyone would have been familiar with it. The next episode should cover the second half of the reawakening arc, and trust me, you don't want to miss that one. If you liked this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more solo leveling videos.